welcome to Queens. Ralph Bednarchik on hand. St. John's, after a long scrum, able to win the opening faceoff in the offensive end as grad student Joe Madsen on the handle, with sophomore goalie Jack Thompson once again making the start. He's on the attack. Just underway. Less wind today than we've seen in the last couple of days in the New York area. This is Schaefer, a bull-dodging midfielder in the Red Storm's pairs offense that scored just one goal last week in a loss 19-1 at the hands of number 5 Georgetown. That's who the Pioneers will handle next week. Cutting across is Joe Madsen, and the slick grad student starts the scoring. Joe week against Providence in a lopsided win, as this is a shot that hits the pipe behind the new St. John's goalie, his 5th appearance of his career, senior Gavin Catalano making his first start. St. John's usual starter Brody Agers, a junior from Farmingdale on the island, not available today. Catalano played the final 15 minutes last week and made 3 saves. He's from Pittsford, New York, upstate. Jack Hanna with the drop-off, and this was Alex Simmons. Now recovers, and Simmons fires low and beats Catalano. Well, we're there as they fired it ahead to Jonathan Huber. And here's Mike Madsen, step down Schaefer, easy save by Thompson. At 50%, Jack Thompson has been steady, says Bill Tierney. Never too high or too low. Sophomore from Castle Rock, Colorado. Started 2 of the 4 games last year that he played, but he became the starter later in the season, right before the pandemic shutdown. Kotler to his right hand, finishes with the flag out. Well, shooting with hand on the move. Mid-season last year, named a All-American by Inside Lacrosse for his play. Of course, no official All-American honors or league honors announced by anybody. And this is a shot by Hanna on the move. Hanna went for 6 goals. And the Pioneers' narrow loss to Duke, February 15th. A 3-year starter for this Pioneers program that has ascended to an All-American caliber player. This is Hanna. Down low the shot. Catalano made the save, appeared initially, but then it's finished. Perhaps he got a bit of the stick of Jackson Morrill, who finished on the kisses, swarmed, and turned it over. Well, that's one thing the Red Storm were really able to do well, as they were out face-offed in their first game at Hofstra. But then the Pioneers get it right back with a heavy ride of their own. Quickly, Jackson Morrill. And Morrill being watched by the grad student, Captain Pat Smith, a 5-year starter. Second midfield with Sam Dwinell, a junior from Dedham, Massachusetts. Ellis Geis. This is Simmons. Dips the shoulder, then takes the bounce shot and beats Catalano low. Fine move. So now Catalano. Smith fires it ahead, and there, look at the pressure applied by goalie Jack Thompson, extending outside the box. And he was all over Jonathan Huber. So the Pioneers forcing another turnover, the 4th by the Red Storm. And Walker to check back and handle, with the Pioneers out shooting St. John's 14-2 as we're under 6 minutes left in this opening quarter. Back to the first midfield as we see Kotler. Ellis Geis will join as well. This is Simmons. Feed down low. Kotler finishes just outside the crease. And Bill Tierney talking about how he and Jackson Morrill have just assimilated so quickly to the Denver culture and the offense. Stathakis Wins the face-off from close D-man Tim Keel momentarily. Huber came up with it for St. John's briefly. Sparrow. And finally, out of some traffic is Malik Sparrow, and Denver with possession. Geist back behind. Simmons, room and time. Alex Simmons facing off with a lot of poles or a freshman like Emke. Mike Madsen, low to low, save made Thompson, and Thompson trying to squeeze it to the turf, and finally has it back behind. And the Pioneers with Jack DiBenedetto. Walker locates Kyle Smith as we near 4 minutes to go. Denver 6 of 16 shooting. All good looks. This is Simmons. And Simmons had the ball, handcuffed him, but it's recovered back behind. And swung outside for Hanna. Hanna dodges his way through, goes to the jump shot. Did he step in? Our officials confirm he did not. Jack Hanna pace. They were very good midfielders. In the last full season played, 16 and 18 for Hanna in 2019. Last year he almost surpassed that in a half year, 17 and 10. That's his 13th of the season, face-off win, and all the way extended to Benedetto. This is Colin Squires, grad student, a 3-year starter from West Lynn, Oregon. Good pass ahead. Simmons all by himself scores. Denver able to break pressure. Jackson Morrill found him. And Simmons, the beneficiary of Denver, has backup and 50 seconds to shoot. Kotler against Willis. The double came. Then coming out in front, missing on the bouncer. Jackson Morrill, back up again to the Pioneers. Geist, the skip pass, tough handle for Dwinell. Dwinell takes a couple of jabs before he retreats and escapes. Then Walker from the angle. And those are the things that will especially hurt you against a program like Denver. And of course the face-off situation, nothing you can do when you're missing your top 3. And so young and inexperienced at that spot against a team that traditionally, of course, Trevor Baptiste, of course, comes to mind, that always faces off terrifically. Here on the man up, it's Walker finding sophomore from Riverhead that plays in the man up unit. Schaefer, along with the Madsen twins and Chris Huber. And Thomas Martello down low in the crease. Final seconds, Madsen shooting from the outside, save made. Able to see it well as Thompson. However, the Red Storm will have the ground ball and a second chance, but we are all even, 0 for 1 with a shot. Schaefer, he's got the D-midi, Jack Ettinger. Tully, New York. Martello winning a Division III National Championship at Wesleyan. He's from Coach Miller's town of Rockville Center, but he is wiped out by Kyle Smith, the D-midi, who leads the push. Tic-tac-toe, Simmons down low, the shot buried, Jackson. Now Hanna and Sullivan along with Hutchko on this first midfield. For offensive coordinator Matt Brown, who will use about 4 for that top unit. This is a step down look that's wide by Jack Hanna. Eight and a half left, second quarter. The Pioneers been held to just 2 here in the frame. Hanna fires and places over the shoulder. High to high to the near post. Fine shot from Hanna. And this allows Schaefer to get in. As we near the 6-minute mark of the second quarter, Denver with another explosion. Back-to-back weeks in the first quarter. This time they put up 9 goals. They scored 17 in the first half last week against Providence. En route to a 23-10 win. Willis driving on the D midi. Cole Boland. Then inside. And the finish. Jonathan Huber. Nice find. And the Red Storm choose to enroll at Denver. The earliest he could play in a game would be March 21st against Villanova. But he would be able to have some closure to his career. There's a shot. And Catalano making the save on Sam Dwinell. And Erlin, I think, will always be mentioned with Trevor Baptiste. You go back to one of the last times that, actually the last time that Denver was in New York, as Catalano throws, looking for Joe Madsen, who makes the catch on the empty net and scores. Against the 10-man ride, the Red Storm tried that earlier. I think that's going to be an assist for against St. John's faceoff man Michael Efron. So the Red Storm with the last two. Zach Hutchko, back to the topic of T.D. Erlin. The last time Denver and New York losing an NCAA quarterfinal game to Albany at Hofstra. The T.D. Erlin versus Trevor Baptiste game where they went an even 15-15. And should Erlin arrive in Denver, he would have a chance to go to his third Final Four with 3 teams. There's a shot, a stinger from Jack. Hutchko forced back. Denver with plenty of time to shoot. Then shooting low to low. This is a good aggressive closeout by St. John's. Back behind Simmons, comes out in front. Simmons got a little bit of a brush screen. Got top side and fired a bullet over the shoulder of Catalano. A career high 5 goals now for Alex Simmons. Just Urena. Red Storm had 2 in the box for a moment. So Denver's second man up. They converted one back in the second quarter. Morrill's the man in the middle in the crease. Simmons up top. This man-up umbrella. Hannah the skip. Good look. Down low. Tic-tac-toe. Walker across for a layup to Ellis Geis. Joe Madsen was able to come up and grab before it went to goal. And as the Red Storm and other Denver opponents are going to see on film, it may be worth to practice it, albeit how small of a percentage shot it is, to have your goalie shoot from 50 yards out, just to keep Denver honest and make Jack Thompson maybe back off being a defender in the ride. Feed down low, wide open Walker. You know, he had his choice of pockets to shoot at. Kalma swinging it, Joe Madsen. The defender Hanglin was hung up for a moment. Martello against the D-midi, Ettinger. Jonathan Huber. Stop made with the stick, and the rebound almost poked into the goal by Martello. Flag is out against St. John's after Thompson made his latest save. 7 for the sophomore from Colorado. Now for the outside, and a stinging shot from A.J. Mercurio. Denver handling another Big East opponent today. They'll have Georgetown coming up next. That'll be at Barton Stadium in Denver next week. What a showdown that'll be. Georgetown taking care of St. John's last week, 19-1. That's Hutchko. Hanna now in the back down. Look for the rollback. There comes Willis. Chased out of his shooting lane is Sullivan, then turns and fires that Catalano is able to stay with and see to squeeze to the turf. Dylan Willis shooting at the empty goal. Rather, it's to Madsen, who's able to catch it and score against the 10-man ride. Here's TK Hammond on for the first time. 10 in maroon for Denver, sophomore out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. They'll come into the midfield here, along with Zach Hutchko. And also Reed Babcock, another run here. Hutchko would love to bury one here. He's not been able to shoot the ball and convert from his good spot. Simmons down low, good pass, and a tally. Clearing the ball today, the Red Storm, 17 out of 25. And try to find a way to help whoever is in goal. Martello. Willis. And Dylan Willis shooting off target. Dylan from Baldwin, New York, attended Kellenberg High School. His dad, Darion Willis, played football right here at St. John's on this field when the Red Storm had a program. And Willis shooting, save made by French, and the rebound put in Jonathan Huber as it popped out right in front for the offensively. And they're hoping to find him a little bit more on the crease. He's a St. Anthony's High School product. Long Island Power. French. Down the middle, Aiden Abram, a sophomore defenseman, on for the first time from Longmont, Colorado. And also Ty Hussey, a freshman from Aurora, Colorado, on. Jack Tuttle, freshman from Castle Rock. And Josh Carlson, freshman from Centennial. All these Rocky Mountain Staters. This is a shot coming out in front, and New York City, he will have a moment here in Queens with 3:29 left. It's a 1-minute slash on Matthew Marino of Denver. St. John's third man up. Schaefer, Kalmus. Good pass across for Iacocca, but did not get his hands free enough. Schaefer is on it with 3 minutes to go and 30 on the man up. Schaefer from the outside beating Kleban. So the grad student there, Ryan Schaefer, freshman out of Wayland, Mass, on for the first time for Denver, as he takes it and misses well wide to the short side. Lampert to initiate against Kiel. Missing short side. Back up with 2:01 left. Denver went for 23 last week against Providence. Devereaux, and taken out of his shooting lane. Then a behind the back shot, that's buried. From with 6 seconds left. But the Pioneers just looked efficient, and they handled business. And they come to New York and show that they are very much at the top of the Big East. 20-6 here in Queens. Denver moves to 3-0 in the league. Another convincing win over a Big East opponent. And the number 10 Pioneers go back home with a satisfying win.